For this video of D&D tips, we are going to show you how we have used this as inspiration for this. Ta-da! Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in lovely Fågelund, Sweden. A couple of weeks ago, I was with my family in a place in Denmark called Möns Klint. It is a beautiful area, and one of the coolest things about Möns Klint was the rock beaches that we could go walk on and swim at. Now, what you see before you is a few of the rocks that I found at Möns Klint. And these rocks are super cool because you can see there are tons of different patterns and shapes inside of the rocks themselves, all sorts of really cool patterns. And I thought to myself when I was looking at these various rocks, can I use this as inspiration for Dungeons and Dragons maps? What is so cool about these rock formations is they are entirely naturally randomly made. It's not as if I were sitting down and thinking to myself, well, how can I make a map that looks really good? No, nature has already done it for me, for us, and we can just simply use the shapes that are already provided. Take these three stones as a great example. Here we have three different kinds of scales of maps that you could have. For example, on the left here, we have an entire world with continents, various continents, land bridges, things that connect it together. You could think of the grays like the ocean, the seas. Fantastic map. Over here, we have an archipelago, perhaps, with various islands in the white part surrounded by the sea. Over here, we have a single island itself stretching along, kind of like Japan, actually, but you could turn it in any way you want. Now, if you want to look at these like land masses with sea around them, that's one thing you can do. Another thing you could do also is if you look at the gray parts and you treat that as land and the white as water, you have a perfect way to form various lakes or seas inside of your land masses. So even that provides us a great pattern for that inspiration for making our lakes and our oceans. So when you find these awesome rocks on the beach, go ahead and just take a picture of them that you can use later on when constructing your own maps. Or take the rocks home and start to draw your own maps on your own paper. So there you go. After only a few minutes, you have got yourself a great map for your Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. Now, you can use this for a local map, something really small, or you can use it for an entire world if you have a global scale. It scales up and down perfectly, so there's no problems with that. You can turn it around in any way you want, set the north direction however you want. Now, when you've finished up with this, I would recommend that you go to an internet website like Incarnate, where you can then take this design and make it a little more professional looking if you want to make more of a professional looking map with some colors, add some mountains, some rivers, other things like that, depending on the scale you're using, of course. Perhaps the coolest part of using this method for making your maps, however, is that if you are able to save the stones that gave you your inspiration or your Stone-spiration, you can then use these stones later on and give them to your Dungeons and Dragons party. Perhaps as some sort of memento that they find or some sort of amulet or something like that, where the map is already in the stone, or we should say you've made the map based upon how the stone looks. And you can then give that as a physical item to your Dungeons and Dragons players with some extra significance as they try to make their way through the world that you have created from the inspiration from this item. Well, there you have it, folks. A quick video about how to make Dungeons and Dragons maps using inspiration from stones and patterns in stones. In addition, this is a really cool idea for how to give your players an item, whether it's a magical item, an amulet, or even just a stone that has geographical hints in it for their campaign. If you enjoy these kind of videos, please do subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I will continue to make more videos for Dungeons and Dragons. Most importantly, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming for the future of gaming.